So at one point in time, we were all in either high school or IFE at one time. And you're talking, this was the 80s, so it's very challenging. But they made the sacrifice. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, housewife, and my dad was a builder, he construction, and he ensured that we were taken care of. He encouraged us to go to school and to do good in school. And yeah, I mean, I can give you stories where I probably came first in tests, and I'm feeling good because I come first, and I bring that report home, and I will still get a licking, because the report used to have by the terms, right? The previous term, and then my mom would look, and she would say, "But why your average drop? So does it matter, mommy? I come first in test. No. But your average was this the term before, and now the average dropped. So yeah, I still get open." Or sometimes, I mean, the best was she looked and she see you have some absences or some lates, and you get a whooping for her. I'm like, "Well, mommy, I was after you get a beating, mommy, I was absent because you kept me home that Friday to do this, But it was too late. You don't get a liquid. But all of that was good. I think it gave you a sense of accountability, and it helped you realize that, you know what, at a very tender age, that there are people that are looking out for your best interest. And so I relish that. I mean, in today's society, we can't be that drastic with our kids, but we still have to maintain certain disciplinary ethos so that we ensure that the kids trot along on the right path. So there's quite a few persons in the community that I looked up to, that helped me stay on focus. My mom used to say I used to drive a lot, but it was all learning. And the bigger boys in the area always ensured, they used to ask me, "You're coming online with us? You did your homework already? You do your schoolwork?" They always used to ask that. So you have guys like Balls that operates a business in Fontenoy area. They still, one of the guys, that was played a role in my life. They had Pat, Taj, Bunting, Brian Francis, Big Tick. We recently lost him. He played a very, very important role in my formative years in GBSS and IFE. He was one of the guys that I looked up to. And of course, Dr. Keith Mitchell. He did play a very, very important role in my life. I remember in 1984, I was around 13 going on 14 years old when he returned to Grenada. And one of the things that stood out to me is, like, everybody in the village was talking about this man having a doctorate in mathematics. Now, mathematics was one of my favorite subjects in school. Like I said, I did it in Form 4 at the CXC level and was successful. So I always saw myself doing something with mathematics. That didn't work out too well, but so I was very, very impressed with that, and I was like, a doctorate in mathematics. First of all, a doctorate was not even that common back then, and then for someone to have a doctorate in mathematics, I kind of latched on to that. So, but overall, I would say just the sense of community, just the sense of the older ladies looking out for you in the community and making sure you stayed on the straight and narrow. The older guys, it wasn't, there was no competition, but rather it was a sense of family. Everybody was family, and ensuring that everyone grew up in a way that they would be beneficial to them and their family in the future. So, yeah, like I said, I did 2 subjects in Form 4. And then I did, I believe it was about 8 or 9 in Form 5. Then graduated GBSS in 1987. So GBSS was from 1982 to 1987. And myself and Timothy Antoine and a couple of us, we had this brilliant idea that, we were just about 16, 17 years old, so we couldn't work. And so we wanted to go back to GBSS for a second year so we can do all the subjects that we thought may not have been important the first go around, maybe the history and the social studies and all of that. And a group of 4 or 5 of us, we decided to go approach Mr. Ashby to talk about coming back for a second year. And as he saw us, and maybe he sensed, I don't know, he always had this sense this sixth sense of, and he said, "Why are you here?" And I don't know, remember if I was a spokesman or Timmy was a spokesman. He said, "Well, Mr. Ashby, we were here, hoping that you let us to come back to do a second year in Form 5 so that we can do a couple." And his response was, "Absolutely not. You all should be already registered in IFE, the Institute for Further Education, which our first year was IFE, second year was Grenada National College. And I suggest that you get down there right now." And he proceeded to call Mr. Val Francis, who was the principal of IFE at the time, and let him know that there were a group of students coming down to register. And he stood on the veranda and watched us walk down to the yard of IFE and register. And it's a good 2 years in IFE. You tertiary education or pre-tertiary education. It prepared you for the bigger world. And at the IFE, I did 3 subjects: maths, chemistry, economics, and GP. Everybody had to do GP, general paper. So there you had it. A couple subjects at the Grenada Boys Secondary School, and then a couple A levels. I graduated IFE in 1989, waited for Carnival, and then migrated to the United States of America.